See? You get it! If they're calibrated just right, they'll be that much more comforting! Hey, Barley Bap, hope you're doing well. And honestly, I'm just gonna say I've had this starting soon screen for a little while, and I'm just like irrationally proud of it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, cause I didn't stream last weekend because I was feeling kind of rough, and then I was sick for a little bit earlier this week, and then yesterday I tried to stream, but like at the exact moment I tried to stream with my girlfriend, Twitch decided to break for a little bit, like just long enough to stop me apparently. So. So we've got that rescheduled for probably next week, and and it's like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little nervous just because I haven't streamed in a couple weeks, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Thank you.
We're a band of vicious pirates sailing out to sea.
Yeah, I was a little,
Oh,
this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I know you've had to take some time off from streaming too, so I'm sure you get where I'm coming from, but like probably just so much more so. Which I'm glad to see you back, by the way.
Come on, men. We've got to recover that map.
It'll be done for when he falls into our trap.
We're a club attuned for
Okay, so for me it was like, okay, I hit the button easily enough, and then it was like, oh god, now I'm live, what do I even do? Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
We know he's sure to lose because we know just where to fire it. We're thieving balladeers, a gang of cutthroat mugs. To fight us off, you won't need guns. Just jolly good earplugs. A pirate I was meant to be. Trim the sails.
Alright, I've dawdled enough. I think I should probably get going. So, hello, users. So I'm back, and so my plan all month long was to be playing games from this year's Queer Games bundle, which has a lot of neat indie games in it, and And so anyway, that ended up not quite working out like I had hoped, and
no time for song. We got to move.
The battle will be long.
that was kind of unfortunate, but like there are a bunch of games I want to check out. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like 70% of these are visual novels, but they're still interesting. Or in one or two cases, just extremely silly. So, and it's like, okay, I've got way more that I want to show off than I could possibly fit in a stream, and I really can't narrow it down no matter how much I try. So it's just kind of like, okay, it's like, okay, let me just put them on this big wheel here, and then fate will decide for me. So, do your thing, Fate.
We're ready to set sail, though the cannons need a plenty.
This one.
We're troublesome corsairs.
So,
We come to steal your treasures. We would shoot you on the downbeat. But we gotta rest my measures.
So like the last time I did this, I streamed like a weird and interesting non-Euclidean walking simulator, which was called What's Your Gender? About like gender and non-binary stuff, and that was was like pretty neat and pretty interesting, and this is the developer's other game, so this is the developer's other game, and I've been pretty curious to check it out.
We'll surely avoid scurvy if we all eat an orange.
Yeah, this will take me just a minute to get set up. This was kind of too many games to get set up ahead of time, but that's all right.
A little guilty.
That's but yeah, this is this is just like. This is a puzzle game, like sort of in the style of Monument Valley, and and I've gotta say some pretty good gems so far. Like, oh, it's like I can just sense there are gonna be some shenanigans afoot. Okay, there we go. And then oh dear. It's like, oh yes, I see the folly of my ways. It's like okay, you got through the first part of the tutorial where we teach you the basics of the game. Now to get to the more complicated parts of the game, and you're like, no. Like, wait, I think I wanted that the other way. It's like the easy stages were kind of too easy. Okay, so it's like, okay, so what else do I need to flip to get that in the right place? It's like, okay, can I do that and not be stuck on that little island? Ah, there we go. I think we've got it. By Jove. Ta-da! We did a thing! Probably you've realized after the first few worlds that you're not 100% not finishing that. Yeah! Yeah, same. Okay, that's cool. That's a really cool mechanic to base your puzzle game around right there. I guess that's where the Escher part of Chronescher comes from. Almost. Okay, but what does that actually... Like, no... Like, okay, can't go over there. That's just the void in that direction. But I can stand over here and... Aha! I love it when a puzzle game makes you go like makes you like all at once go, that was a clever and interesting puzzle. Also, I am clever for having solved it now. You know, which is kind of the opposite of what I'm feeling 20 seconds into this level, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I think I moved this back here and then I rotated and... Okay, that's not gonna work because that block is still in the way of the stairs, so... If I can get over to this switch... There we go! Perfect! Oops. Just do this and presto. Yeah, there's a the fine line between a game making me feel I feel clever for solving that, and and oh god, how did I not figure that out sooner? Yeah, like. Yeah, like growing up, I kind of always wanted to make video games, and it's like I wanted to do that as a career for a while, but but given the state of working conditions in the game industry, I'm honestly kind of like, whew, I dodged a bullet with that one. So, yeah, that's like an aspect of game design that I've always been curious about. And and also like I cannot do art to save my life, but it's like it's like I should look at like game dev stuff just as a spare time thing. I'm sure there's plenty I could do to just sort of scratch that itch. It's like, all right, I guess this is our story unfolding. So I'm guessing we're not gonna see a whole lot of it in the time I'm gonna have with this game, but this is interesting. That's very true. Like, true. Like with things like, say, it was like Unity, for example. It's like people give that a lot of crap for people give you crap for like some of the weird janky games made in it, but it's like if that makes like professional level game development stuff accessible, then that is just awesome. It's like Unity is far from perfect tool, but there's also like Godot and like a whole ton of other things, like of other like professional level game developer tools that are just available to people now, and that is genuinely wonderful. Yeah. It's like there being more games and there being more people making games and it being easier to make games. All of that is a very, very good thing. Very good thing. Like even if you're not an enthusiast of Kusoge, like you know, it's not like I spent like a couple years of my life basically like deeply involving myself in his streaming group, whose entire thing was that. But like even if you don't like that stuff, then no, more people making art is awesome, because especially because that means you can see like voices and themes that you would otherwise not see very represented. Like literally the reason I'm playing games from this bundle is because it is awesome that it exists, and it is awesome that these games exist, even though, like, again, 70% of this stuff I'm gonna be looking at is visual novels, but so what if it gives people a creative outlet who didn't have a creative outlet, if it gives people voice and reach who didn't have that is goddamn amazing. You know, it's just like, oh, I'm just going in circles here, aren't I? It's like, let me try a different level for a bit. It's like okay, I can see just having portals is gonna add some interesting things to the game design here, because it's like, yeah, you can like add a portal to probably what I'm supposed to do is add a portal to that platform, then move that platform, then I can teleport through the portal to the lowercase one platform. Anyone can make a game now, and that is awesome. I completely agree! And if anyone can make a game now, then why not Zoidberg? I mean, why not the gay robot on the internet? Like, wait. Put a portal there, but I don't think it actually does anything for me having it. Wait, there we go! Aww. Did somebody say lamp? Hey, Elfie! Nice to see you! Like, oh, I just trapped myself in place, didn't I? Like, okay, let me, it's like, you know what, I can keep looking at this puzzle, but, like, oh, I'm probably supposed to put a portal on the, yeah, like on that end there. I'm thinking. And then adjust things so that end there is in just the right place. There we go. Let me spin this around this way, and oh dang, we're right above where we want to be. Okay. Now it just gets more interesting. Press how good I am at this. Your lack of spatial awareness is causing you so much trouble parsing these environments. Okay, that's that's very valid, honestly. Like, clearly need to spend more time in an Usher house. Yeah, worked for me. Let's say, no, I don't think, Okay, spinning around does not actually help anything, so... Let's see... Oh! It's like... Wait a minute, no, that's only almost lining up. That's not actually lining up yet. I have a feeling that I want to put a portal like down there. And then play with the positioning until it's just right, but... Let's see... I'm gonna say, are there any other buttons I can push at this point, or just... I think just these two, because... That one's up there, and if that's a problem, then I might need to restart the level. Dang. Aw, thank you. Yeah, because from every angle I can hook it up to it. There! Ah, heck yeah! Thank you for believing in me, y'all! Thank you, Claire! Okay, now I feel like I'm being called out! It's like, okay, I don't have a timer going, but, but I feel like I've probably been on this game about a half an hour, and I feel like that's a pretty good showcase of this one. Hey, Claire, you're extremely adorable. Yeah, like this is absolutely one of the highlights of this bundle, and Aww. Yeah, you should give it a shot.
I know that you're out there and I'm waiting for you. Cornet is my name and I'm a puppeteer too.
Oh gosh, I am just so tempted to just sing along to this. Like
They are there to help me make my dreams come true. And once you get to know them, they just might help you
too. And all the puppets in the world.
will help me find my
She is a puppeteer too.
I know that you're out there and I'm waiting for you. There she goes again, she's so in love. So as if lightning
It's like, okay, I've sung along to this song a lot before, but I really need to drag somebody else into singing it with me as a duet. Oh, I just clicked the thing and didn't actually do the hand motion to spin the wheel, so I guess the wheel just spun itself.
I take a bubble bath, even wash behind my ears. Oh! All the bubbles tickle my nose, but they get me squeaky clean. And when I'm done, I'm looking.
All right, so I had mentioned that most of the games that I wanted to show off, and also a bunch of the games in this are visual novels, and it's like, and this one is no exception. But
What's inside of me? Don't you understand what I
but yeah, this one seems interesting. It's kind of cute, kind of dark.
You must be courageous and be true to your heart. It will make you happy.
There are some like content warnings that I'll throw up once the game proper begins. But yeah, this one's like again kind of cute, kind of dark. Honestly, I've been curious about this before the bundle came out, and it's like I was honestly thinking of spending part of a stream looking at it anyway, and there are a bunch of content warnings. I don't know how much of this stuff will show up in part 1, and how much of it will even let alone how much of it will show up in the 20 or 30 minutes I give this, because I've honestly been pretty curious about it. But yeah, the content warnings it gives are strong themes, graphic violence, drug use, self-harm. It says nudity and sexual content, but I at least screened the graphics of the video of this, if not the text, and it seems like it'll be okay. But yeah, like this is interesting, but this one does get pretty dark. So so be aware of that, and if you're like not in the mood for that stuff today, then feel free to drop off the stream, or take a break and come back in like 20 to 30 minutes. But if you are sticking around, then this is gonna be an interesting one. Also, hey Claire, hope you're doing well today. I don't think I have a whole lot I want to say about this one going in, so yeah, let's get started. Title screen is already oozing style. Yeah. Yeah, this is, yeah, like I think when you get later on in the game, you get cutscenes like that, but I think part 1 is just a pretty straightforward visual novel. Armed with a revolver and sword, a tall royal white dragoon sailed through the duchy territorial space, accompanied by its black and gold trimmed guard. Within the cockpit of the Pegasus sat Crown Princess Emile de Lucia, feet kicked up nonchalantly, a scowl forming on her face. To her, this was nothing more than a tiresome obligation. Ahead of the pair was a procession of duchy dragoons preparing for battle. Among the soldiers, banners flew high and ceremonial swords gleamed. For such a small force, it was a rather odd display of regality. Emile chewed her lip. Of course, this was all put together to impress her. I mean, Princess of the Duchy and all, so... At the forefront of the group flew a bold, dog-like dragoon, brandishing a sword and shield. Emile descended to join the formation, taking her position by the leader. An image of an eager-looking equine appeared in her cockpit. Your Grace, it is an absolute pleasure to have you here with us. The pilot of the dog-like promenade was Baron Mosaic Grey. And yeah, I'm getting like very Legend of Galactic Heroes vibes from this, for sure. Emile found every single thing about him unbearably disgusting. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to being able to witness your bravery firsthand, Emile sung back to him with a smile. Black and Gold Dragoon trailing Emile matched speed beside her and opened their private channel. Your Grace, is it really a wise decision for you to get so close to the enemy? The pilot scolded her in a detached monotone. Yeah, it's like, yeah, like the anime, like the, yeah, like the older anime is like, it's like really, really famous, and it's like really, really famous and supposedly really, really good. I'm gonna be honest, my only experience with Legend of Galactic Heroes is listening to the audiobook of the first novel on my commute, and it's like, yeah, that was neat, that was interesting. Haven't read the rest yet, let alone watch the anime, but yeah. Yeah, I'm sure once it gets, I'm sure like in the later books / episodes when it gets going, it gets really interesting, I could imagine. You're such a worrywart, honey. We'll keep our distance. After all, we're just here to observe Baron Grey's glorious victory. Of course, Your Grace. And don't call me any of those annoying titles in private, it makes me ill. Honey sighed. My apologies, Emile. Emile pouted. Thank you. Custard and pastry! Love and hate! Good and evil! S&M! I'm Millie! And I'm Philly! And we are Millie! Well, we finally made it to our TV debut. So excited to be here. Me too, sure. These sure as fuck are some outfits they're wearing. Thank you all for tuning in. Have you good little spacefarers picked a favorite yet? It's me, right? Right? Give it a rest, would you? I'm right though, aren't I? I'm the cute fun one everyone's gonna like. You're the boring one with nothing going on but sex appeal. You little! Within the Lilac fleet, a small automated passenger shuttle sailed through the rows of warships. The television screens on the empty rows of seats all display the same image of a colorful daytime talk show, upbeat music echoing through the cabin. Arms outstretched and without gravity, the bunny-eared Shio twirled through the air in elation. Shio, would you sit down? Fluffy scolded her. Shio laughed. How can I sit down? This whole shuttle's just for us. Direct flight all the way to the capital. How many people do you think they do that for? Special treatment like this. Isn't this the kind of thing we've been waiting for? This is just the beginning. Love money, clean air, our own room, real food. Yeah, I'm sure you will end up not at all a broken shell of your former self by the end of this journey. have to get used to living in gravity. We'll love that too. Finally get to take a real shower. I've always wanted to try a bathtub too. Fluffy flitted in front of Shio's face. But aren't you scared? Like I said, we'll work it out. I'm never going back to that filthy ship. It's not like I really want to be a pilot, but I just can't pass this up. I've never had a chance like this. Shio's eyes lit up as she glanced toward the window. Fifi, look! Shio darted to the window, pressing against it for a better look. A leviathan of a ship came into view, its figure dwarfing even the largest of the battleships surrounding it. It's the Serialized. I know it was big, but wow. Only living inside of that, isn't it exciting? What do you think it's like inside? Oh, but you see it all the time on TV, though. Fufi only sighed. Dutch dragoons took position in the shadows of the asteroid field, rifles raised at the enemy fleet below. You'll have never seen the enemy fleet so close before. Their modern ships were all ugly, hastily assembled piles of scrap, liveries bizarre splashes of color as if to distract from the poor construction. It's a gay-ass ship. It is indeed. Hey, Petra, nice to see you. Love you. Oh, Claire, you were here and I didn't blow a kiss at you earlier. How uncouth of me. Small shuttles darted between the ships, Emil's FCS lighting up with potential targets. Half the reason she came was to get a chance to assess the enemy with her own eyes. And they really didn't seem anything special. But looking into the distance, where the rows of ships continued and continued, their numbers seemed truly endless. Well, that's a gay-ass bat up there! It wasn't hard to picture the bloodbath that would result from a full-scale invasion. And it was her oldest ship that presented the biggest problem. The lilac capital Zephranthes was more than a safe distance away, but the sight of it made Emil gnaw on her finger. The sole remaining ultra-dreadnought-class capital ship from the very beginning of the war. The slow-beating heart of the fleet that had become a nation was a fully autonomous war machine, entire cities laying within its breast, towering over the surrounding ships at a scale of well over 1,000 to 1. It was a feat of engineering on a scale that could never be replicated in the modern era. What kind of weapon could she produce that would even put a dent in the warship the size of a continent? Even without the rest of that fleet, that monster could flatten the duchy if the Lilac ever figured out how to move it. Gray smirked. You know, I was expecting to be able to just walk right in like this, but it's a little embarrassing for them that we can actually do it. I'm not so sure collecting a few trophies is really going to be a challenge worthy of your praise, Your Grace. You're not getting cold feet, are you? Emil smiled. Of course not. Gray raised his sword. All units, aim! Fire! Emil watched as smaller lilac vessels erupted into light. A poor shuttle caught in the fire, destroyed in an instant. Lilac Dragoon shot out of the hangar bays and flight decks, with dull impressions of the fleet changing in an instant. The Lilac Dragoons were as rudimentary as their ships, and painted in even uglier colors. To Emil, they looked like children's toy figures. Flashes of light from the Lilac's wretched beam weapons reduced anything caught in their path to ash. Those ugly ships and ugly toy figures. No matter how much Emil derided their appearance, their ability was the real thing. Dang! Emil watched a Lilac pilot brush aside a storage strike and crush the cockpit of a Dutch Dragoon with nothing more than a rifle stock, firing a volley into the wound for good measure. She clenched the controls in front of her, itching to dash forward and start cutting the Lilac mutts in half. Being anything more than an observer would place her under scrutiny for the mission's inevitable outcome. She was loath to admit it, but it wasn't like a princess could start giving out orders either. Those were the Baron's private forces, not hers. Sole bodyguard flying at her side was the only soldier she had under her direct command. Even then, she ultimately answered to her mother like everyone else. Watch a Lilac Dragoon tear open the chest of another of the Baron's soldiers. Fighting style was relentless and uncontrolled. As the Lilac pilots closed in, the scene quickly became a bloody melee of limb torn from mechanical limb and split open chests. They weren't firmly trained, nor were they under the command of any master tactician. Their intent and ability was implanted through a machine interface. Their power to kill came to them like an instinct. Emil wasn't someone who really believed in the ideals of honorable combat, but the Lilac's methods were truly detestable. What an ugly sight this all is, Honey muttered. Permission to fire? Go ahead, Emil sighed. We'll just say it was Gray's orders. Lilac Fleet Special Division Dragoon Command, control room. Within the depths of the Zephyranthes, a naval officer leaned over the radar displays with gritted teeth. They came this close? Are they out of their minds? Sir, we're picking up an automated distress signal from a shuttle that belongs to our division, very close to the enemy position. Ignore it. Order all units to prioritize defending our ships before mounting any rescues of non-combatants. Yikes! If they've been hit directly, they're dead already. Yes, sir. Oxygen loss detected. Suit compromised. Self-seal system active. User injury detected. Inertial dampening active. Distress beacon active. Seek help immediately. Repeat. Seek help immediately. Shio gasped for air as she regained her senses. The suit's warnings buzzing in her ears. It's like I've been playing this visual novel for not even 15 minutes. Most of it just being me reading out dialogue that was already on screen, and I already feel so bad for her. There's a flash of light, and then the shuttle interior was gone. Her shoulder burned. Looked down, she winced as she saw a shard of metal jutting out from her body. Blood spattered on the torn spacesuit around it. The automatic self-seal of the suit had stuck itself to the shrapnel, liquid plastic melting the suit against her wound. An automatic pressure system formed a tourniquet around the wound, crushing her shoulder. Shio breathed shakily, desperate to try and calm herself and find her bearings. Another flash of light engulfed her view. Her body recoiling from the wave of heat felt through her suit. It was a ship's beam weapon. that when the duchy was here. She couldn't even see what was happening, but the war was being fought right in front of her. At any moment, a cannon round could turn her body into mist. Shia laughed before choking and starting to sob. This was bad. This was really, really bad. Of course it would end up like this. I got my hopes up and then I die. I don't want it to end like this. I haven't even gotten to eat a real meal yet. I want to try a pancake for the first time. Am I really gonna die thinking something as stupid as that? Shio, can you hear me? Shio flinched. Foofy? Shio! I can hear you, Shio sobbed, wrapping an arm around the plush toy as they flew towards one another. Foofy pressed against her chest. I'm so glad you're alive. You too. Foofy pulled back, eyes wide. Your shoulder! It's nothing. Foofy punched Shio's chest. It's not nothing! Shio exhaled and looked around, trying to find the nearest ship through the chaos. We need to get out of here. Foofy wrung her paws together. My wings aren't strong enough to pull you. Is there anything from the shuttle nearby? There should be emergency kits. Foofy shook her head. Shio bit her lip. No matter how hard she racked her brain, she couldn't think of a single solution. She'd been in this position before, but never in such a helpless state. Foofy could only give her a small nudge at best, but her battery wouldn't last. As it was just a rudimentary model for shuttle passengers with absolutely nothing to maneuver with. Only thing she could do was hope for rescue. Is that rescue? Or is that another threat? In the blink of an eye, a mechanical figure in vivid paint towered over Shio and Foofy. Hey, don't give me that look! A voice came through Shio's earpiece. I'm on your side. I'll put out my hand, okay? Grab on! Shio could only nod and do as the pilot said, reaching out to the Dragoon's hand. Whoop! Holy shit! The blink of an eye, it was gone. Voice that had called out to her was gone. She had yet to even see their face. Emil followed the path of Honey's shot. Target reduced to a tiny flicker on their lace display. That must be a new distance record for you, Emil smirked. Honey narrowed her eyes. I'm afraid I actually missed. I was aiming for the yellow one. Talk about unlucky. Emil's tails perked up. Yellow? Could that be her? Emil adjusted her display. Sure enough, she spotted a yellow dragoon darting across the battlefield. It's like, yeah, okay, this, like, protagonist who I'm already extremely endeared to almost died and then almost saved and is now, like, gonna die again, and... And it's like, meanwhile, over here, where people are being silly about this war that costs lives... Is that the guy from Ultra Kill? I have not actually played Ultra Kill. Honeybee, huh? So you really do exist. Such garish colors. Its movements were fluid and nimble, far outpacing its nearby allies. She'd heard stories, but it was clear even at a glance that this pilot was a cut above the rest. While sharing the sense of aesthetics, it was notably different than the other Lilac Dragoons Emil had seen before. Had a unique engine arrangement. A more delicate construction. I haven't played Ultra Kill either, but people who do play it can't stop memeing about it. Ah. It's like not in the corner of the internet where I happen to be hanging out, but I could imagine that, yeah. And there is a certain morbid history to a lance like that. What's she doing with such a miserable thing? I've heard all sorts of rumors about you, much as I'd love to be the one you put down here and now. I can at least use you for something interesting. Emil uploaded the target data and switched her radio channel. Baron Gray, Baron Gray, I've found you a worthy opponent. Go forth and show me your valor. Data received. With pleasure, Your Grace. Gray triumphantly swung his sword out to his side, striking a pose with his engines flaring. Baron Mosaic Gray, pilot of the Promenade Dragoon, setting forth. Emil watched as he launched forward with a glittering trail. If nothing else, his Dragoon was certainly interesting to look at. Craig came to a halt in the Yellow Dragoon's path, brashly raising his sword. I am Baron Gray of the Duchy of Lucia. Speak your name or... Without a word, the pilot of the Honeybee tore off the Promenade's arm as it passed. So it's a fight without honor then, so be it! Lilac pilot exhaled slowly, scanning over the enemy machine as it cowered behind its shield. Golden one hit was her policy. She didn't like this style of fighting. It made her spine itch. Voice cracked over her radio, forcing itself into the cockpit. It was angry, bitter, barking at her, disgusting and violent. She pushed forward on the throttle, lighting up the target. Sync rate good. Reactors 1 and 2 good. Contamination within acceptable range. All parasites must die. Bit by bit, it was starting to give. Felt a little like peeling the shell off an insect. Voice won't stop barking at her. Or was it pleading? Emil and Honey looked down as the Lilac Dragoon circled around for the next strike. You can't follow her movements at all, Emil sneered. Honey raised her rifle. Shall I intervene? Absolutely not. Emil smiled. A duel is sacred after all. A voice kept barking at her. Begging, cursing, which was it? Lilac pilot pulled back her lance, driving it into the side of her enemy. Would you just be quiet? Oh. Well, he's fucking dead, probably. This is Space Opera with robot fursuitas. I mean, more or less, yeah. Yeah, that does seem to be what's going on. Chapter 1, Fly-by-Wire. And honestly, I'm just gonna save here because I've been playing this for 25 minutes and I reached the end of the prologue, and this seems like a good place to stop. So normally I don't take breaks quite this early in the stream, but there's something I need to take a look at real quick, and you know, even after that, it might be good to like stretch my legs a little, refill my coolant. So I'm gonna take a break for a couple minutes, and I encourage you all to do the same. See you in a bit. Alright, users, I'm back. Sorry, that took a little bit longer than I expected. I had a couple of things I needed to take care of real quick. But they're done, and we can get back. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll my next game now. And then while I'm setting that up, I can I can just talk like real quickly about my thoughts on Coquette Dragoon. Let's heckin' go! I really need a better tagline to say when I'm spinning that wheel, but it's like, alright, so our next one is a circle of charity. This is I will it's like, I will warn you in advance that this one also gets this one honestly is like pretty dark and emotional too, honestly, from like what I've looked into about it, but it seemed interesting, so I thought it was worth a look. If I can't stomach this one for the whole time through, I absolutely reserve the right to eject myself, and I encourage you to do the same if this one gets if this one gets uncomfortable. So it's like, oh yeah, I think I said I was gonna I said I was gonna throw in some thoughts about Coquette Dragoon. So it's like that one was interesting, and I definitely want to come back to it. In particular, I really like the I really like the clash between the cutesy graphics and the between the cutesy graphics and the like and the more serious moments of that storyline, it is such a contrast. So this one calls itself a GIF punk angel visual novel, 25 to 30 minutes in length. The game lengths honestly tend to be more of a suggestion when I'm going through games, mostly because I like to meander around. I like to read the dialogue aloud and all of that, and that definitely adds the time. So let's get into this. Shall we? Yeah, like very deliberate retro tech aesthetic going on here. Yeah, and it says, as it says, left content warning for gender dysphoria, transphobia, illness, needles and blood, and assault. And it's like, again, this game is a lot. I don't know if I'll make it through myself. And if any of you need to step out because it gets too much, or if you think it might get too much, that is absolutely understandable, and I encourage you to do that if you need to. Like, absolutely do that if you need to. Let me be crystal clear on this point. Going through important read first. I looked through as many drives as I could. Almost every file was recovered, but there was some corruption, so some parts might be missing. I can't promise that nothing has been edited either. Sorry. It's all sorted chronologically, so start from the files at the top and work your way to the bottom, or else it won't make any sense. I hope you can find whatever it is you're looking for. Log 2310-2003. October 23rd, 2003. Begin log. Alright. Here we go. I miss modem noises, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, can you see us now? Yeah. Finally, lol. That's good. Sorry it took so long. The connection here is pretty bad. Thank you for the head pats, hon. Okay, so the question there is actual modem noises, or are they making you go nee, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. No worries. I have nothing better to do anyway. Lol. Well, first off, thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah, I have so many questions for you. Don't even know where to start. How did our supervisor even arrange this? Lol. I'm slightly more surprised that he paid for this coffee. Hee. I'm excited too. As for your supervisor, it's funny, really. Just happened to hear his prayers one night. That's so cool. Sorry if we're a bit excited. It's not every day you get to talk to an angel. Yeah. Oh, don't apologize. It's fine. Don't be scared. Or, as they used to say, be not afraid. Ha! So, yeah, feel free to ask me whatever. I have permission from God to tell you about most things. Well, what's heaven like? I think you should tell us about yourself first. Just to get us started, if that's okay. Aww. Lol. Sure. Well, let's see. Been an angel girl for, well, a while now. So cool! So, do you still have memories of your old life? Yeah. Took a while, but I basically got them all back. Piece by piece. Even memories I hadn't thought about in a long time. Disturbing stuff, to be honest. Whoa! Well, it's all okay now. For the most part, my old life doesn't bother me. It's been recontextualized now, I guess. That's good. Anyway, my own life has been much busier as an angel. I've made lots of friends, and I did a bunch of cool angel stuff. Ooh! That stuff I'm not allowed to tell you about. Hee. Aww. So, yeah. Things are much nicer for me now, like this. That's great. What next? Oh, what about your charges? Huh? You're the worst student ever. Charges, like guardian angels and stuff? Oh, right. Like people you take care of, yeah? Yes. It's a major part of my thesis, actually. It's very interesting how angels take care of their kin. I'm really excited to hear about this. Sure. Do have a couple girls I look after. Cool. I guess it was inevitable, really. I mean, my whole life people sort of instinctively trusted me. They would share their secrets and anxieties with me. Whoa, was that a sign of your latent divinity? Sort of. I mean, I was definitely unhappy for many reasons, but as a human, I couldn't help people very much. The social role I was given sort of precluded that, made it harder. I really liked taking care of people whenever I could, though. That must have been difficult. Still must be pretty difficult now, too, right? In a different way, I mean, angels aren't easy to deal with or take care of. It's fine, no offense taken. And yeah, it can be hard sometimes, for sure, but nobody else is gonna do it. I can't do very much, but I try to help when they feel down, support them where I can. Welcome back, Claire. Do heed the content warnings over there, and if you need to step out, feel free. We're about 8 minutes into this, which means we're probably going to be looking at this for another like 10 to 20 minutes. So if you need to step out, feel free. If you want to stick around, then fine. Yeah, I can do that. Dunno. I can help a little, I guess, but it can get out of hand. Sometimes people just need professional help or something. Yeah, I understand that. Especially when talking to them starts hurting me as well. Not proud of it, but I've had to block or cut off some people, like when their situation became too out of control to deal with. Right. Well, I don't blame anyone for thinking that way, but I see it differently. Angels have it difficult, and if you're born in a minefield, you're just gonna have to dig lots of victims out of the rubble. Still, I get it. It's fair to complain that you shouldn't have to do it, but at the end of the day, who else is going to? Well, sure, devotion expected of an angel. Not sure I agree. Can that really be what God demands? It must be pretty hard on yourself to do all that. Don't worry. It's actually ontologically impossible for an angel girl to become a martyr. Wow, okay. You won't get a better expression of the angel mindset than that. Anyway, I got some other questions for you. End of vlog. It's like I kind of suspect this is gonna be like an overarching theme of the whole piece, but like, but like to have someone in your life who like you care deeply, you care for, but where it gets to the point where like where it gets to the point where like, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with words today. What I'm saying is that I've definitely been in a place where it felt like I only had one person to like talk to and to comfort me and fill my emotional needs, and I've also been on the other side of that where I was that person for someone. I'm both of those are so terrible because there's only so much you can do as one person. And it's like fortunately these were both like a really long time ago. It's like, I have a better support network now. I will encourage and help people build better support networks now, but like sometimes there's only so much one person can do, you know? You're gonna go food. Good choice, Petra. It's nice seeing you. Take care. So after he said all that, Professor gave him the weirdest look. He had to explain to him that no, he was talking about something that wouldn't happen for another 5 years. Lol. What an idiot. Yeah. I don't know if he was just showing off or trying to make some weird point. Lots of weird guys like that. Well, sounds like everything else is fine at least. Yeah, I got all the classes I wanted. Plus, work hasn't been as stressful lately. I'm glad it's all going well, darling. If not, then your big sister can always plagiarize an essay for you. You are so dumb. Why do you say weird Victorian shit like darling, too? I don't being called darling sounds really nice if it's by someone you're in the right kind of relationship with. Otherwise, not so much, so fair. Might be cringe, but at least I'm free. Mood! Lol, very sisterly behavior. Especially for someone who isn't my real sister. Well, it sounds kind of stupid, but I still believe all that stuff from the old stories. Universal Sisterhood of Angels, blah blah. Once again, cringe, but free. Aw, that's cute. But yeah, you're sure everything is okay? Yeah, it's been good. That's a relief. Always tell me about anything going on, you know. Oh, of course I will. Same goes for you too, okay? Whatever you need. Of course. Oh, hey. It's 3. Gotta go then. Hey. Be careful, okay? Huh? I know she's not doing well, but keep an eye on yourself too, alright? You already visit her so much. Don't worry. It'll be fine. Okay. Say hi for me, I guess. I just think you should be careful. Hey. Patience, you there? Of course. Never ever get sleep in here. Too noisy. Right, sorry. You're late today. Something happened? I had that interview today, remember? Oh, right. What's so funny? You're so sweet. Helping out those two. They're nice people. Respectful, I suppose. Just want to know more about us. That's all. Ha! Really are the same as me. Huh? Long ago, whenever I'd have an appointment here, there'd always be a few residents in the waiting room who wanted to examine me. Oh, it was a bit weird, but, well, what the hell, right? Let them ask about whatever, inspect my fucked up body. I guess we both just like being useful, huh? You wouldn't say that. Ha! Sorry. But cheer up. You're still plenty useful. You haven't been forgotten yet. God, they're just children. All of them out there. Very lucky, very sheltered children. What do you mean? They don't know how bad things get. They're still young. We're both still pretty young patients. Yes, we've gotten close, haven't we? We've felt that desperation. We know what it's like to be so close to losing everything, that fear of peaceful days disappearing. Part of me is glad I'm stuck in here. The outside is too painful. I was just waiting out the day when this would happen to me. I know. It's hard not to feel like crying sometimes. It feels like everyone else is taking it all for granted. But I'm sure that everything will be okay. Those dark times are over for me now. And they're gonna be over for you too, soon. That's what I pray. And I really do pray for you, you know. The nurses, they took away my estrogen today, laughed at me too. Think I can't hear them from here, calling me a man, calling me all sorts of nasty shit, honestly, but I can hear them. Probably why they stuck me in this shitty room. Fuck, it's hot in here. Sorry. Hey, it's gonna be okay. I'll see what I can do, okay? It's fine. Doesn't really matter too much. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't just leave me alone. Are you sure? I worry about you. It's better if I just go away. Try to get some sleep. I'll be here, I promise. Yeah, so this is a really interesting game. This is like an interesting game with a really neat aesthetic that I am not going to be playing more of today, cause I'm gonna be honest, it's a little much and I'm not really in the mood for it right now. Which, if that did seem interesting to you, absolutely check it out, but but yeah. Anyway, moving on. Give me more of the good queer shit. Oh, okay, this one. I almost thought it was gonna land on the one labeled Cute Bunny Girl, because that would have been the wildest total whiplash possible. This one's pretty short. It's labeled as a manifesto. As a manifesto rather than as a game. So this one doesn't have any music, but also I'm not gonna pump any music in, because this one's pretty brief. This is the games I want to make. I want to make small games. Tiny experiences that you can play in your low-spec 10-year-old laptop. I also want to make buggy Bully games, games that are not good, games that even some people will not consider games. I want to make games and leave them unfinished, games that I will keep as a secret and will remain unpublished. I want to make games as an act of rebellion. I want to represent the place I live in, the people around me, things that feel familiar to me. I want to represent intimacy, ordinary things, queerness, sadness, and euphoria too, things that feel personal to me. I want to make games for myself. Games for gay people with gay characters and gay dramas. By the way, if you play one of my games, you can assume all characters are gay. I want to make games where violence doesn't drive the action. But I also want to make games about lesbian magical girls that are also hackers and kill giant robots. I want to make mistakes and just have fun. I don't want to make games with the best graphics. I want to make crappy games that can be played in crappy computers. I don't care about the fucking ray tracing, honestly. Just want to make games that are accessible and reimagine an industry where sustainability drives creativity. I want to support small communities of creators that help each other. Support nice people creating tools so everybody can make games. Support open source tool development by people and not by big companies. Fuck big companies. And I guess I just want to make games that connect with others, to empower others, to encourage others to create more games or whatever. Just create. And yeah, that's it. I told you it was really short, but I wanted to take a look at that one anyway. And yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It was just for the like cute avatar with the CRT head, but still worth it. Still very worth it. All right, so now that we've had that little bit of a palate cleanser, let's see what we're getting next. Ooh. I mean, all of the games on this list are games I'm kind of excited about, but like the specific reason I'm excited about this one is just that it's just that like in my last Queer Games bundle showcase, in my last Queer Games bundle showcase, I did a game that was called Hope This Finds You Well. Which was just a really cute gay game about two people in a fantasy setting writing letters back and forth, and you could see their reactions. And that was just really cute and really gay. And anyway, it was a prequel to this, which is those were the two gay guys from the letter writing visual novel. And it's like, okay, it's like, here are their other adventures. So this is like a 3 to 6 hour point and click adventure style game, so I don't know how far into it I'm going to get, but yeah, let's get going with this. You only crank up the volume just a touch. That should be good. The doors were all locked and the windows barred. The afternoon sun barely managed to leak into the dusty mansion, but when the visitor knocked, the sharp sound resounded through the halls. Somewhere, inaudible over the knocking, a pitiful voice let out a groan and called into the hallway. Clumsy hands pull a pillow over his face. Ah, that's so loud, I swear I can see it. Doesn't stop, this headache will crack my skull in two. While one man complained, another was already rushing to answer the door. You have a hangover, not a headache. Have mercy, Holly. I can't handle this today. You couldn't handle this yesterday. Don't think you have a lobster's chance of boiling water of handling it tomorrow. Unsympathetic but undeterred, Holly Faraday made his way toward the front door. He ignored the other speaker and their continued whining. He sighed. The morning wouldn't stop until the knocking did, and Faraday would have to be the one to take care of it. Opening up the door was quite a task. He muttered through a devious set of tongue-twisting charms, cracked a stick of chalk over the handle, and detached a frankly ludicrous amount of deadbolts. Any interest in the novelty of virtual magic had worn off months ago. The seal broke and the crisp air entered full of the staticky flavor of fall. Holly blinked as his eyes adjusted. He hadn't missed all that sunlight, nor the serious, stiffly disapproving faces of the people on the outside. The messenger was standing in the step, letter in hand. Whomever had sent it had paid to have it hand-delivered. Urgent letter for Mr. Ludlud Cal? Holly raised an eyebrow. They paid to have it hand-delivered, but not, it seemed, enough to know the recipient. Ludikiel. Comprehension seemed to dawn on the messenger's face, quickly followed by the inevitable grimace of distaste. I see. Him. Faraday took a letter from his hand, gave it the once-over. It's not a bomb, is it? That got the jerk's attention. No, sir, it's a personal invitation. Really? Well, toss my oars. Thanks. Holly rummaged in his pocket for a tip, and once that transaction was accomplished, set about resealing the door. He didn't want to be responsible for anything escaping. Soon the business was accomplished. All that was left was to find out what was in the letter. Harry! Quieter, please. It's like, oh right, I forgot I gave the other guy a British accent, so I'm gonna start doing that with his dialogue. You should get up! Open the mail yourself! Ugh. What if there's money in it? Gotta want that. Keep it. Holly pantomimed opening the letter. Ah, it's the deed to this whole place. All I have to do is sign and it's all mine. Keep it! The outburst clearly backfired and another groan of anguish rolled down the hall. Holly rolled his eyes and tore open the elaborately decorated envelope. He scanned the lines of the letter. It's an invitation to a party. They want you to do a seance. If he'd been expecting this to perk up his companion's fears, then the response would have been quite the disappointment. I won't do it. I've done two before, and it's all so terribly demeaning. Two stocking-clad feet met the ground. Then one of those feet failed to keep balance, and the ground became acquainted with a pair of elbows and a forehead. Seances are just a tasteless parlor trick. He clawed his way up the doorframe and heard Ludicule stood as tall as he momentarily could. How dare they? They're speaking to a true alchemical genius! A man who could control the fabric of the human soul. Holly fluttered the letter at him. Why don't you try controlling the fabric of your pants, buddy? Harold took one moment to register his state of undress, and that moment was all it took to puncture what little energy he had. Be that as it may, neither I nor anyone could show up and summon the souls of the dead. Their regrets or outstanding grievances, perhaps I could summon those, but any vengeful presence strong enough to contact might kill the whole lot of them rather than shake the table. Holly sighed to him. Maybe it would have been better to leave Harold passed out in the Chase Lounge. After all, Harold couldn't be pedantic while he was passed out in the Chase Lounge. I'll tell the spell person you say no, then. Harold waved a permissive gesture. Good. Don't call me unless the big ones escape. It took a while for anything to filter through the muck in his brain. As the neuron finally made contact, Harold tripped again. Bell, as in Bernadette Bell, the author. Holly caught both Harold and the suddenly wild look in his eye. The famous author? Yeah. Managing both Harold and the letter was certainly a handful, but Holly managed to reread the letter. Managed to reread the letter, which was to say, the letter. It says, Professor Ludicule, I request your presence at a party at my home this coming Sunday. I have heard tell of your incredible research into the supernal sciences, and I need a man with your experience for the job. I can trust no one else with this important task. My regards, Bernadette Bell. Harold got to his feet, brushing himself off. Well, it would be the pinnacle of rudeness to decline. So will you bring business cards to this? We just pass out slips labeled kick-ass. Well, they really just pass out slips labeled kiss-ass so they know your real job. Harold shook his head, hangover suddenly absent. How do you not know Belle? She's been serialized for 2 years now. Rest those modern mysteries with the shockingly grisly means of death. Holly shrugged. An associate of hers was just murdered a few days ago. The irony kept it all over the papers. They have no leads at all, claiming an imp might have been the murder weapon. It's creepy to obsess about other people's business. You never know when you might need that information. Wouldn't want to make a faux pas if we met her. Fine, I guess that settles it. If you just said seances were fake. I mean, it's more complicated than that. And even if there's very little evidence that they're real, you never know what we might find in the future. It's a longer way to say fake. So, they want a good ghost story for their party. What's wrong with that? But not deceptive per se. It's fun for the guests if we all pretend it's real. That's the idea. Oh, Clara, I missed your message earlier. You're also really cute and gay. Holly chuckled. Well, then I'm coming with you. Seeing you liars ass off sounds like a show I don't want to miss. Plus, they said there'll be dinner. I haven't gotten to eat something I didn't cook myself in ages. Harold chewed the inside of his cheek for a moment before responding. Just promise me you won't embarrass me. Me? With her running around and playing pretend about fake ghosts for a scrap of establishment acknowledgement. You really think I'm gonna be the embarrassing one? Well, you don't exactly know how to dress. Holly didn't see fit to dignify that with a response. Turned around and left Harold standing in the hall in his undergarments. Okay, these two, it's like these have a different dynamic together now that they've been together for so long, but it's still a really fun dynamic. A week later, Faraday and Harold stood dwarfed by the massive mansion of Bernadette Bell. Thank goodness I brought this big jar of salt. This place is going to need a lot to seal. If we're going to be faking the ghost thing, why bother sealing anything? I'm a professional, Holly. I am at least capable of sealing a building until sunrise. Sure you can stay up that late? Stepping out onto the front porch, their feet passed over a metal grate. Strange device on the floor set off a ringing tone inside the house. Do you think that's an imp doorbell? That seems excessive, not to mention expensive. Or maybe the place is rigged up with electricity? She must be even richer than I thought. How do I look? Fine. I'd really wish you'd have dressed in something nicer. This is the nicest stuff I have. Plus, it's not like clothes change who you are. Either they'll like you or they won't. Just say I'm your assistant. They won't care then. So you have heard books this week, right? Well, I read a bit. Define a bit. I fell asleep on the third page. You're like Seafang stories, but it was so dreary. Don't look at me like that! Hey, so Holly over there, the one on the left, used spent a good chunk of his life on ships. There's going to be a play soon. I'll simply watch that when it comes out. The short stories are good. I'm certain that they are. And you can tell me all about how the book was better once we've seen the show. Look, the first one sucks. She's clearly never been on a boat before, but they get a lot better. And come prepared, so I read a few. There is the sound of movement behind the door. The host herself, Bernadette Bell, opened the door. A stern figure stood behind her. Oh, it's Dr. Ludicio. Sorry to keep you waiting. I haven't been feeling up to snuff lately. It's no trouble, Miss Bell, and please call me Harold. Harold it is, then. I'm glad you can make it. It might have been rather short notice, but for you, anything. I must confess to being something of a fan. Really? And this is my assistant, Holly Faraday. Don't worry, I understand how valuable good help is. This is my editor, Debbie Vance. Vance extended her wrist towards Harold. Her dress and demeanor were both firmly rooted in the prior century. I was the one who told you about your walk. Harold, no stranger to dusty old customs, kissed the back of Vance's hand. A pleasure to meet you both. Come on in, don't just stand out there. Want to get started as soon as everyone else has arrived. Miss Bell, I need some time, to prepare. I love that you've kept this whole thing very mysterious. It suits a mystery writer like yourself, but I do need to know whom I'll be summoning. My friend Gareth Canterbury. Such a recent death might be difficult to summon. If you can't do it, then please tell me now. I mean, for an amateur, it would be impossible, but for an experienced summoner like me, it shouldn't be a problem. Faraday leaned in to whisper, Harry, how the hell are you gonna fake? Harry hissed back softly, have you ever heard of heart reading? Harry puffed his shirt out confidently like a proper cunning showman. We need to get a list of the deceased's personal traits and attachments so we can contact her properly. Faraday, take some notes for me. Harry thrust a leather-bound journal into his hands. Wait, this notebook is... Faraday muttered a bit coarsely. Then he folded a new page and started to write. Was there notebooks that were all letters between each other? I'm dying to know now. Sometimes Faraday will take notes on the people around him. These notes can be accessed at any time by clicking the journal icon to the right of the text box. All these notes will be kept here. Click the page corners or the tabs to navigate the journal. Close button to return back to the game. All these stamps, if found, please return to Harold. Gareth Canterbury, she, her, friend of Belle, recently murdered. It's like, and that's all we have so far. I do love how the notes are, like, clearly handwritten. Like, not even a handwriting font, which would have been more than acceptable, but... Because, like, look, compare the two E's and the word recently. That is clearly not just a font being used. Bill turned to Vance for a moment, and while she was distracted, Faraday hissed a whisper to Harold. Harry, why are there notes on me? Oh, well, I started assembling all my notes on people into one notebook. Easy to keep on hand. Ollie rolled his eyes and the sarcasm dripped from his tone. Oh, of course, that makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't. Those people don't think to keep an insane little dossier of everyone they pass by. Well, my memory isn't what it used to be. What if I slip up and say something that accidentally touches upon a sore nerve and they never forgive me? Faraday took to furious scribbling. Harold looked over Holly's shoulder and watched him write. Oh, very mature. While you're at it, add snores in his sleep to your page. I was gonna say, okay. I'll say, there's... Okay, Holly Faraday, he, him, undiscovered demon, ominous, incredible work. Crossed out my assistant professor. No, don't say his name around the docks. Cute smile, crossed out. Gay? Question mark, crossed out, triple exclamation point. He likes malt cider. Ask him out for a drink. Apologize. Ask him to come back. Shut up, coward. Okay, this is great. Harold Ludiciel, he, him, orientation, desperate. Jerk, usually intoxicated and moping. One of the most influential demonologists of the era, but has no motivation. House is full of nightmares. His house is full of nightmares that are a pain in the ass to deal with, but he's the most notable one. They're really good at sassing each other. Which is perfect and delightful. False laughter cut through their squabble. Don't you agree, Harold? Absolutely quite amusing. Harold had no idea what she'd been discussing with fans, but people always like to hear that they were funny. Miss Bell, I hate to devote you back towards a sensitive subject, but could you tell me a little about your friend's career? It's important that I know what might tie her to this mortal plane. Belle didn't miss a beat, pride in her eyes as she responded. She was a fabulous illustrator. She worked on cover art for the chain. Faraday leaned towards Harold to whisper, The chain is a journal her stories are serialized in. So would you say she liked her job? Loved it. She and I would head out to find scenes for her to paint while I did some rough drafting. She and I met when she had to illustrate something for one of my stories for the cover. She took a lot of pride in her works. Some people even collected the journals just for their covers. Hey Petra, sorry this one came up while you were at lunch, but you remember that cute gay letter writing visual novel? It was a prequel to this. Those were those two guys. Quite a feat to say. Sometimes their journal just sold just because of her artwork. She wasn't liked by the heads of the journal. She just told it like it is. Management always hates that. I just wanted to be clear. Maybe the job didn't love her as much as she loved it. I suppose. In the parlor were two guests already chatting away. Rather, one of them was endlessly, excitedly prattling on, while the other loomed, silent. Faraday and Harold attempted not to stare. They failed utterly. Belle followed their gazes and chimed in. Petra, probably not, if only because I have like 45 minutes left in the stream. Belle followed their gazes and chimed in. May I present Goose Downey? They're here to help me with some details about future writing ideas. They're a hitman! Inspiration is vital for a good story, and who would know more about murder than that? So tacky. Faraday took note of that. The bell rang and Belle grabbed Vance's hand. Oh, another guest! With that, Belle hurried Vance away, sounding slightly winded. Finally, I was starting to think it would just be me and this guy all night. The taller person said nothing, but the lack of response did not seem to slow the woman down. So, who do we have here? Two of you, right? Or is it just one person with a really big imp? Oh, no, it's two of us. So you can speak. Well, that's helpful. Yes, I'm Dr. Harold Ludiciel. I'll be performing the seance this evening. Man, she wasn't kidding when she said she was getting an expert. Harold beamed. Shame it had to be you, though. Just who do you think you are? Harold did his best to shush Faraday. But the woman heard him anyway, and could scarcely hold back a peal of arrogant laughter. Me? I'm Diadilas. Harry gave an audible groan of disappointment, which only served to make her grin even more broadly. Yep, that's Dilas. If you've seen a ship with our marking, then I've designed it. Even if you haven't seen the marking, we made half the ships in the harbor, so, you know, you're welcome. For, like, all the free trade you enjoy each day. Faraday gritted his teeth and decided not to let the shipwright get away with this slight. Big deal, so you made 1 or 200 ships. Good for you. I've been on better. Oh, big words, mister. It's Faraday. Holy Faraday. Deleuze shrugged. Never heard of you. Faraday sucked in a breath to tell Deleuze exactly who he was. But Harold lifted a hand and gave him a desperate, pleading look. Instead, he looked down to the journal sullenly. Well, he crossed his arms but said nothing. So by the way, there is a there is like a journal telling you who all the characters are, and Bernfeld, tonight's host, writes a popular Constance Littlebear series of mysteries. Harry, if you're reading this, the train one is great. Downey, they them, a hitman here for Bell's research, and Dea Deleuze. They Shipwright thinks she's so special because she's economically noteworthy. Hello, a pleasure to meet you. The figure gave the slightest of nods. Harry's mind had half a dozen reasons why Goose might choose to commit this social slight. Which of them was probably his own fault. He was so wrapped up in the preemptive guilt that he almost missed it when they did speak. Yeah. I mean, this isn't like a carefully crafted letter to your lover. It's just like taking some notes while you're at a quick notes while you're at a dinner party. Hey. A great listener, this one. I was just telling them about how marriage is a scam. Harold did not have the time to ask what could have caused such a topic to come up. He just got straight to nodding. Yes, spending life with just one person will be so limiting. Mood! I disagree. Commitment is nice. That's not to say that life partnership that doesn't have its upsides. Faraday rolled his eyes. You getting dizzy over there? Miss Deleuze, did you happen to know anything about Garth Canterbury? Just that she died and people keep talking about it. Dear Deleuze gave a carefree shrug. How about you, Goosey? Wasn't me. Outside the room, there was a lilting, melodic cry of joy. Deleuze's head turned attentively. Please tell me that's what it sounds like it is. Sound of fawning excitement traveled down the hall. And before long, the host and next guest appeared. Aww. The door swung open, revealing a figure swathed in pink silks and sheer beaded fabric. Her eyes shone with abundant delight. Harold gave a slight gasp of enthusiasm. It's Clarice Myers. Who? If you can't take an interest in current events, we'll never have anything to talk about. I'm gonna talk about the current state of mold in your kitchen. Oh, your parlor is beautiful. Is this the inspiration for Duchess Baker's parlor? How could you tell? I've been rereading all of her scenes. The way that bookshelf is positioned and the pattern of the chair. Yes, I picture her scheming all of her nefarious plots into that chair right over there. The energetic young lady crossed the room to run her hand along the fabric of the arm. Oh, it gives me a perfectly wicked vibe. Can I sit in it? You certainly can. The young lady settled into the chair, and the innocent features of her face contorted into a sinister glare. She threw back her head and gave her laugh so chilling, goosebumps rose on the back of Faraday's neck. Try as you might for as long as you live, you'll never prove it was me, Constance Little Belle! Belle's jaw dropped. Exactly how I imagined her! I love it! Miss Myers, I think you're disturbing the other guests. The young lady hopped up from the chair, eyes once again wide and apologetic. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. Just so thrilled to see it for myself. No, Debbie, stop being such a spoil sport. Miss Myers, I could have asked the director to cast a better Duchess. Yeah, are you kidding? A preview performance right here? Sounds like she knows how to party unlike the rest of you chumps. They had poked Goose in the knee with her cane. What are you gonna start doing an evil laugh? That seems like something a real hitman would have. Better if they don't hear you coming. This guy's starting to creep me out. Shh, don't let them hear you. Belle and Myers, however, were still off in their own little world, phoning over each other. Oh, I hate to be a bother, but Miss Belle, can I please have you sign this copy of the chain? I have all of them with your stories in them, but this one's my favorite. Constance racing to solve the murder before the train pulls into the next station, all while knowing she might be found by the conductor. It was so thrilling! Belle took the less than pristine magazine and unclipped a gleaming bronze fountain pen from her pocket. Signature was large and loopy in a striking indigo ink. I use this pen for all my manuscripts too. This ink just seems like it makes the pen flow faster. Myers' eyes sparkled with admiration as she took the signed copy back. She stared in awe as if she had just seen magic. Belle seemed to remember that the rest of the guests were there. Oh, let's be introduced. Miss Clarice. Clarice Myers, loves you on that one with the flower girl and the elocution lessons. Luce hopped to the front of the group, quickly shaking Myers' hand. Didn't think I had a villain yet, but you sure proved me wrong. Oh, thank you. I promise I can be very evil when I want to be. As Belle introduced the rest of them, Faraday used the free movement to take a couple more notes. Vance looked over to Clarice, finally giving an approving nod. My dear, are you wearing an imp in your hat? Oh yes, I'm awfully glad that someone noticed. It's all the fashion uptown. Watch. A small creature rose from her hat, and quietly, with the poise of a ballerina, began to dance. Clarice Myers sang, a crystalline soprano, weaving a hauntingly pretty melody. The others all stopped what they were doing and crowded around to watch them perform. Vance smiled and Duluth stopped fidgeting. The little limp moved with grace, elegance, and far too many joints. After a moment, however... Whoop! Harold crossed the room quickly, pulling chalk from his jacket pocket. Miss, allow me to... Myers did not let a hint of awkwardness or effrontery show. Oh dear, don't mind. That happens all the time. See, she can make a new one. Nolan placed a tiny hand to his cheek as if laughing off embarrassment. And its mask reformed. Oh, what a clever little trick. The imp bowed, then hid away back among the flowers of Myers' hat. Harold slunk back over to Faraday's side. Do you think it's okay? Though he'd whispered, Duluth must have been feeling particularly nosy because she'd because you chirped up for all to hear. Of course she's okay. Everybody's imps do weird stuff sometimes. Doesn't mean anything. Quite right. One look at that beautiful imp and one can easily tell that a hob is a beautiful soul. The imp is the pure expression of an artist's creative drive, her ability. One shouldn't trivialize it. There's a general agreement amidst the room, and the others took to chatting. Harold wandered over to the far corner, wondered if he could summon something that could drag him straight off the face of the earth. Is that really what people think nowadays? That imps are their creativity? Their souls? They break them out for fun little shows? You were gone a while, Holly. We did all that research and the public just traded one life for another. Look, this journal you've got me writing in, it's my old notebook. Just open up and show them my notes, leave it to be. I'm just advanced to be sure, but maybe nothing will happen. If you try to tell them this darling of the stage has a demon, that if she uses it like this, it will make it stronger and more dangerous, mocked and even forcibly removed. Aren't we responsible for at least trying to correct them? Someone gets hurt and we said nothing. Faraday was no stranger to Harold's haggard, tired expressions. But as soon as Harold looked at him, eyes communicated a fatigue so deep it must have taken years to accumulate. I hate the city. They'd eat a rock if you told them it was an oyster. Holly's notes on imps and demons are now available to read. But which I can look at that later if I keep going with this, but doorbell rang once again. And summoned Bellum went away, but left Clarice to admire the room more deeply. Miss Myers, do you know anything about Gareth Canterbury? She was Miss Bell's friend who was murdered. Terrible how the papers keep sensationalizing it and hounding her for interviews. She clearly has nothing to do with it, and yet they're harassing her just because she's famous and writes about murders. All just to sell papers. It's so heartbreaking. Thank you. It's disgusting that people want to wring money out of other people's tragedies. Dreadful. I feel so sorry. I feel so sorry for Miss Bell. I hope you'll all be gentle with your feelings tonight. She's probably trying to take her mind off that whole thing. Ollie clicked his tongue. I don't think she hired me to summon her ghost. That seems so ghoulish. Literally. Whoa! This party's getting better every minute! And I'll only improve now that I'm here, gorgeous. Group turned to see the new arrival. I'm admittedly intrigued, but that's some big talk. A man waltzed into the room with the utmost confidence. He spotted coiffed hair, a lilac waistcoat that was so out of style it bordered on kind of archaic chic, and a pair of long tapered ears. Faraday barely noticed the others enter the room. Van supported a slightly winged Bell on her arm, helping her into a chair. Being too boring would literally kill me, so I'm very motivated. Oh, your ears, are you a fae? I've only heard about them in books. What does ears look like? The apprentice goose again with her cane prompting them on. Cute. Subjective descriptions don't help. They're pointy. And very charming. Charming is subjective. Nonsense. Charming is subjectively very, very me. I'm lupine flowers. And no, it isn't every day that you meet a fae. Fen squinted at Lupine. The artist for this game must have had a capital T time with all the period clothing. Yeah, I can imagine. Like I'm gonna be honest. The backgrounds look like honestly look like they're photographs that were either drawn over or more likely just like sent through an image editor filter. But that's understandable considering how much they had to do for the character art. And also the character art in this game is really heckin' good. Just saying. Van squinted at Lupine. I don't actually remember inviting you. I wasn't invited, but I thought that was rude. It's rude, such a collection of adorable people, and me not invited. Shame! Plus, I was friends with Canterbury. Gary was good to me. Found out you were going to be contacting her tonight. Call me romantic, but I couldn't miss a last chance at seeing her. It couldn't hurt! Well, if you're certain. Debbie, you should know better than anyone else never to turn away a fae. Nonsense. As an expert, I know the fae are all sweet, adorable, wholesome creatures. They are born amidst the Cabbage Patch and tenderly rock the children to sleep at night. Where'd you get that? Not that nonsense. Sounds like something out of a Deborah Van storybook. Can you get dinner started, Debbie? Have the cooking and serving imps in the kitchen, don't you? Of course, please be careful. Lupine bounced on her toes and turned to Belle with a friendly grin. What an odd pair, you and her. Her books are all old stuffy plotless fairy stories. You write exciting, gruesome murders. Witnessing such a wild faux pas, Harold was white in the face, murmuring. He knew that she was Deborah Vance and still said that to her face. Oh, God. Little Percy Miss Cabbage Patch edits your tales of murder. Ha! Just full of such wonderfully vibrant ideas. I can see it in your eyes and in your writing. Lupine looked at Belle with the most adoring smile to accompany the compliment. Whatever could a frump like that bring to a table that you didn't already have in spades? Oh! Myers hopped like a child in the classroom, one eager to be called on by the teacher. Miss Mel, do you mind if I tell him? Go right ahead. It's infinitely more fun to hear my accomplishments coming from someone else's mouth. Myers dove in. Miss Bell published the first mystery under pen name. You see, she wasn't confident in her work. First one wasn't a major hit. It got people excited about the characters, and she started to write more stories. A couple years ago, she got picked up by the chain. That's when I found out about her. That's when I started reading her as well. You can get the chain in Arcadia if you know the right guys. Well, eventually Miss Bell felt confident enough to reveal her real name. Bell was a brand new writer, but as you know, Miss Vance had been around for about 100 years looking at the crow's feet. Only get brow creases that bad from scaling all the time. Miss Vance has been around for a while longer. So she had a lot of publishing connections, and she helped Miss Bell get into the industry. Faraday balanced the journal against his arm to add more. When Faraday looked up, Lupine was already behind him, peering over his shoulder. Wah! Another cute writer. I'm gonna get overstuffed with stories tonight. They're just notes. Oh, are you casing the joint? Faraday decided to pawn the attention off as quickly as possible. Harold over there is gonna case the joint completely. Get it all salty. I wouldn't touch a thing I'm not allowed to. It's for the seance. Belle does have some amazing things though. She's been collecting cult items. That's what I read. You can see some in her gorgeous curio case over there. The loose scolded goose. You didn't tell me about what's in the curio case. I didn't look. Well, how about I give you all a tour? Okay, so I can't stream for much longer, but there's one more very light and silly game that I wanted to touch on, before the end of the stream. So I will probably come back to this, and and we'll be moving on to our last game of the day. Give me a minute to set this one up. Oh, I was kind of hoping that certain people will be in chat for this one because I kind of figured they'd have a really fun reaction to the title of this one, but last game of the day indeed. And this is a very silly one, as I said. So a bit of background. This one was done for a game jam called So this is a this is a Ren Pai game that was made like in a very strict time limit for a game jam, so it's a very simple game. And so first, I don't know if any of you remember the games I streamed from like the equivalent bundle to this last year. If you did see those streams, you might remember that there is a very cute visual novel about a polycule of 4 women who went and taught 3 other women about the wonders of polyamory, and it was extremely fucking gay. Yeah, and this game is like a silly, like, unofficial sequel to that. Which there is one before, so it's actually the unofficial 3rd game in the series. Like, it is very much not canon to the other ones. So, right. So the rest of the background I wanted to give. So this was made for a specific Renpai game jam called the OOAA, or Only One of Any Asset jam. So it's like 1 piece of music, 1 sound effect, like 1 background, 1 character sprite, and it's like, speaking about this one gets really lewd. Alas, no. Actually, I wouldn't even call it a sequel. It's just a very silly non-canon game that has one of the characters in it. Right. So consider again, like the very limited restrictions it was made under, and yeah, of course, this is gonna be a very short and simple game. Life is a sham. All you want to do is date a cute bunny girl and maybe start a family with her. Is that too much to ask for? But here's where what you really are. Corporate slave married to your job. It's no wonder you got hit by a truck. Hey, Truck-kun, I guess I'll get isekai'd somewhere. Find yourself waking up in an unfamiliar environment. A cute bunny girl? Has your dream of dating a cute bunny girl finally come true? You lost? Okay, so I'm honestly gonna try to get as many bad endings as possible on the way to the good ending here. So I started off with only in your eyes, baby. Bunny girl runs. So if you frantically chase after her, but you trip over a rock and die. The end. Like, you lost? Yeah. That's awful. Do you need any help? Newgrounds loot game level of dialogue choices. Yeah, again, this game very does not take itself seriously. I'm hungry. Are you gonna eat me? Eek! Bunny. You friendly chase after her, but you trip over a rock and die. Inside enter. Am I in heaven? You silly goose, why would you be in heaven when you're still alive? We're at Camellia Hill. I was flower picking when I came across your body. Look down a little and you'll find Camellia Town. It's where bunnies like me reside. You don't really look like a bunny, though. Big bad wolf. Are you gonna eat me? It's like, okay, I figured that would be the game over response, but I'm a human. I don't know what a human is, but you seem friendly. I'm Yuki, last name. Nice to meet you. Seems like you've gotten a little closer to Yuki. So, what's a human like you doing here? Again, going for all the game over, so what's a kid like you doing here? I'm 18 years old for your information, rude! Or, I just woke up here. That must suck! No worries, I can help you settle in. We can make up a whole fake identity for you. I'm good at that. Let's see, to live here, you'd have to be a bunny, but which breed? I'm a Netherland dwarf rabbit, but there's no way you can pass for that with your build. I literally cannot tell which one of these is the game over, so if it is not the game over, I'm going to rewind. What about a jackrabbit? It's like, is that why you're so tiny? I'm not tiny! Bunny girl runs off. Instead, we say, what about jackrabbit? A jackrabbit? That sounds good. You look like a runner, just like them. I love your calves. All right, you're a jackrabbit from now on. Remember that. Seems like you've gotten closer to Yuki. You must be hungry. Want to grab some food? I saw some carrots. Are you trying to fatten me up? You do know carrots are extremely high in sugar content for bunnies, right? Jeez. Actual bunny fact, and that's the reason I went with that option. Carrots are not actually that good for bunnies. Right, so the whole reason for the bunny carrot thing is that the whole reason why people associate carrots with bunnies is because of Bugs Bunny, who was in turn taking it from like some old actor, I forget who. Yeah, again, this game is very silly. What about some lettuce? I love lettuce! Come up with the best ideas. Let's go grab some food. Mel Blanc doesn't even like carrots. That I didn't know, but... Clark Gable specifically from the film It Happened One Night. Ah, okay, thanks for filling me in. Like, I know it was something, I just couldn't remember who. Also, hi Phil. I'm probably gonna be wrapping up stream in a couple minutes. I'm just going through this one because it's very silly. One Night is one of those films where you watch and keep thinking, wait, this is where that comes from? I see! Good to know. Alright, good luck with the RPG tonight. Ah, that was delicious! I hope you liked it too, despite being new to this whole being a rabbit thing. Okay, it was okay, the bad choice then? Oh, they're both okay. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Technically speaking, jackrabbits are herbivores, and I don't really know what humans eat. But if you ever crave meat, just let me know. I know some friendly predators who will help you out. This really friendly husky comes by to visit me sometimes. She's really fun to be around, and she's so cool and wonderful, and her ears are so fluffy, and I wish I could just pet her all day, even though predators aren't allowed here. Like, I couldn't in good conscience cut her off, except I'm going for all the bad endings. Oh, I'm sorry for bothering you. I think I should go. It's like, I love listening to people info dump, seriously. She had the prettiest eyes that just shade of pinkish red, and they look like gems that I could honestly stare into her eyes all day, and I love playing with her because we both love catch, and sometimes she pins me down, and oh, I'm so sorry, I must be boring you. Just love talking about Spica. You'll love her too once you get to meet her. Again, she was one of the characters from that other game. It seems like you've got close to Yuki. What should we do about lodging? Maybe you should come live with my family. And going with all the bad choices, and oh, okay, I'm sorry for bothering you. You say I'd rather die, and it's like, sounds fun! Yay! You'll love my family. I don't have any siblings, so there's definitely room for you. No, so siblings, but aren't rabbits good at multiplying? Multiplying, I mean, my math isn't that bad. Oh, but that's sexual harassment. The bunny girl runs off. Yeah, kind of was. I love that. Then it's settled. Oh, you'll love my moms. I don't really look alike since I'm adopted, but they're still super great at being moms. Mom makes the best pancakes, and Mom brews the yummiest coffee, although she rarely lets me have any. She says I have too much energy as it is. They're in a cafe in town. I can bring you along with me the next time I go there if you like. Okay, actual honest response, because I cannot stand the taste of coffee, even though I know this is the bad ending one. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I think I should go. Finn said you say, yes, please. I mean, I assume they have tea, probably. I mean, maybe not in Animal Land. That's a promise. Seems like you've gotten closer to Yuki. You're talking to the bunny girl, and you can't help but think back to your previous life. Corporate slave, hunched over your drabby office desk. Hours of unpaid overtime. Convenient stir dinners cold by the time you get back to your apartment. He's got severe RSD, huh? Yeah! Cold, dreary, lonely apartment. No friends, no family, no lover, just you, your shitty convenience store dinner, and your thoughts. Maybe getting hit by that truck was for the best. You're no longer alone, are you? You okay? You kind of zoned out. It's like, please go on a date with me! But we just met and we barely know each other. I mean, I guess a date would be perfect for us to get to know each other, but this is so Son and I don't even know your name. Your name. Think back to your past self. Like, fuck your past self, am I right? That's not who you are, even what you want to be. You're whoever you want to be. You're you. My name is Haruka. Haruka, huh? That's a pretty name. Now that you know my name, please go on a date with me. Even your ears are blushing. That's so cute. Yeah. It is so cute. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought that was one of my partners saying that for a second, and I was gonna call them cute, but I don't want to do that if the other person isn't comfortable with that. So anyway, now that you know my name, please go on a date with me. They're incandescent like little red lamps. They are. Okay. Petra. Okay, I mean, you seem pretty cool and I'd like to get to know you better. We could discuss like our sleeping arrangements for when we live together, I guess. I kick a lot in my sleep. Well, you are cute! I'd love to talk about our future sleeping arrangements with you, perhaps at your mother's cafe. That sounds perfect! Life may be a sham and getting hit by a truck kind of hurts, but now you're going on a date with a cute bunny girl and you're also getting to meet her family and friends. This could be a dream. You could be dead, but who cares? The end. Yeah, again, very silly and simple game. Also, Haruka was like the trans character from the other game, so having her being the point of view character and having having the whole thing be like, yeah, I had a name, but fuck my past life, I'll give out the name I want to give. It's like so good. It's like that was just a nice little touch. By the way, I don't think I ever played the first game in this series. I just played the second one last year. Which is Yuki's something. I honestly don't remember what it was called. It was just like that character, but not Bunny. Trying to get a girlfriend, and the canon enemy is and the canon ending is a polycule ending. So that was a delight, and I feel like that was a good note and to go out on. So like that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna go do a food and thank you all so much for watching. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me to have so many people just poking their heads in and hanging out. So thank you, y'all. Let's see, who do I want to read? Actually, I think I'm gonna send y'all over to Dot Level. She is doing an all-day Zelda marathon, and that's just starting, and Dot is great. Y'all should go watch her. So I'm gonna send y'all over there. I'm gonna go do a food, and I'll see y'all later. Please take care of yourselves, y'all.